Tessa Talks is a monthly podcast exploring social and environmental justice, education, creativity, and the arts. This production is brought to you by the team at Tessa Foundation, a nonprofit based in Santa Fe, New Mexico, that provides humanitarian aid and social benefit to communities around the world. Each episode of this podcast will gather inspiring minds and passionate hearts to share wisdom teachings, explore pressing issues, and world events. Enjoy an intriguing, intellectually, and emotionally stimulating adventure into the voice of a spirit. Tessa Talks is dedicated to Tessa Haran, who passed on February 1st, 2006, while serving with the Peace Corps in Tonga. Her spirit lives on through the message and work of the Tessa Foundation. Thank you for joining us, and be sure to subscribe for updates on upcoming episodes.
Hi, I'm KP. I'm here with my colleagues, Magic and Dot. As you know, we've done one podcast before, and we have a visiting guest that we're going to interview, our surprise guest, Martha Reich. She's a singer-songwriter, and she was also a good friend of Tessa's. We actually have this album here it's called Piece by Piece, and it has many songs on it, two of which Martha will tell you about, and probably 6 others that were written by friends and family. So I thought maybe, Martha, you could kind of give us a feel for what happened for you when Tessa died and how you got inspired as a songwriter and a musician.
Well, Tessa and I, we met in a spiritual group, and I just remember, I think she actually only came to my house like one time, but I felt like we were, kindred spirits, yes. Like, I was really shy and quiet, and she was too, and I do remember coming over, and I think we talked about guitar and music, and it was just really so lovely to just converse about that and share about that, and I was really into gardening, and so was she, and so we loved each other, you know, and when she died, that's when I became closer to Christina, her mom, and I remember that Tessa wrote these words to a song called "I Know a Place," and Christina asked me if I would put music to it, and I said, of course I would, and it was probably one of the quickest songs I ever wrote. I mean, I was just like, and I always tell people, like, I play it all the time when I play out, and I'm like, this is like an amazing collaboration between the worlds, really, like, you know. And so I love playing that song because I always feel Tessa when I'm playing it, and the words are just so beautiful. And then I wanted to write a song that was just inspired by her and my feelings of grief when she died. And I remember it was her birthday, and it was March 20th, right? Birthday. And I was sad, but I went out to my garden, and out of the snow was this flower. And I was like, oh my God, like, that's Tessa. That's Tessa blossoming out of the snow. And those actual words are in this song called Song for Tessa, which is one of the songs on the Piece by Piece. So, it just really gave me that feeling that even when people pass on or die, that they are around us. We just have to be open to it and to them and their spirit. And I also remember, like, when I was writing the song, I was kind of going through a hard time, even besides the fact that Tessa had died. But I was playing the song for someone, and I'm like, can I really say these things? Can I really put this in the song? And my friend said, absolutely. Like, it's perfect. You know, it's like just being honest with my feelings. And I play that song all the time, too. So I'm really honored that it's on part of all the great songs on that album, and just, you know. And then I made a video for it very recently, just like this last year, and it's got like flowers and forests. And
it spoke to me when you brought it up, of the question of, can I write this in a song? And the response that your friend gave you is so perfect about the honesty.
Yeah.
It's the songs that I feel that have the audacity to be vulnerable in that way are the ones that have moved me the most and inspire me. And I'm grateful that you took that leap and had the gumption to be honest in a song that could be shared with others. And I've been amazed with the way that there's been a meshing with all of the things that circulated around Tessa and her essence in regards to being generous and connected to the earth and using music as a modality, and her writing. I know there's many poems that I've read from Tessa by way of Christina, and it's amazing how the inspiration of putting our own creativity to move something, whether it's grief, whether it's something difficult or something extremely exciting, the impact it has over the years and how it ripples on out. We may not know it, we may never see it, we may never even hear about it, but her creativity has inspired me, has inspired those around me, and I'm sure that yours has too. So it's like a blanket that covers the world in a helpful way. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always seen music as like a transformational technology of being human. Like in a certain way, we play music to transform emotions, to transform experiences that have happened to us in the past, or even transform like mythologies of our cultures. And that's definitely how I've used music as I've been inspired about utilizing music for like educational, inspirational purposes, and how to, through inspiration, bring this kind of new visions or new possibilities, like poetry being a mode of storytelling, being a mode of writing new mythologies for ourselves. And so, yeah, I definitely feel the resonance with, Tessa, and this is something that Christina and I have celebrated since, we found out that Tessa and I shared the same birthday, and all of the little synchronicities of the ways that,
Isn't that great?
our essences weave in each other's lives, and that's, those are signs of power in our experience, I believe, those synchronicities. So that's where I feel kind of like this cheering on from the other side, in bridging like the worlds of gardening and environmental activism in with music, and like what is the emotional transformation that can happen for the world in looking at, like apocalyptic mythologies that are being scripted in the news media, and how we can tell new stories for ourselves, for our little pockets, our tribes, our cities, our families.
You all have a lot of navigating to do through the vicissitudes of the future, and I'm just so impressed. It's exciting.
Christina,
what are you laughing about?
Could you let me know what vicissitudes means?
Oh, that's a great idea. Every time we do Tessa Talks, we'll come up with a vocabulary word.
Yeah.
I like that.
Vicissitudes is changes.
Nice.
It's all about changes.
You better have some gratitude for the vicissitude.
I think we could have a flow jam right now. Thanks.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for
Yeah,
having
Martha,
me
thank you
here.
for being Tessa's friend. Thank you for the music. And hey, who knows what we're going to do next? Oh, our next podcast is, Michael, would you explain what it's going to be about? Because we're talking about equality all the time.
Yeah, our next podcast, we are highlighting the aspects of intergenerational dynamics in families, how cultural traditions that have imprinted onto our parents or our grandparents, or, the peoples in our families impact us in our own relationships with life, and how we, as individuals have a responsibility to transform in whatever way feels our calling those traditions and, you know, whatever habits, patterns that were imprinted through our families. So it's going to be kind of like a deep dive into real life scenarios and examples of Daniela's life, Dot's life, mine, and, you know, KP, and we'll have a professional therapist on who's actually my stepmother, and talking about, like, you know, my father being a 71-year-old new father, and all kinds of other beautiful, you know, explorations.
Yeah, it'll be an adventure because he was raised by his father with his twin brother and sister, and Dot is from a traditional Latino family. And then Carolina will give us her spin on things from her feelings and also from the feelings of being a therapist. So I think it'll be fun. So come join us. We'll get it out to you as soon as we can.
Before we sign off, can you share where the audience can hear your music?
Yeah, best is to go to my website, marthareich.com, and Reich is R-E-I-C-H. You can find lots of stuff on there.
Yeah, she has several albums. What do you have, 4 albums now?
I have like 4 albums and not like an EP, so 5 things, yeah, and lots of singles. So
Nice.
Yeah.
And enjoy some of that music right here, right now.
I was walking along with my head bowed to the ground. I didn't want to see you, I didn't want to smile, I didn't want to drown. And I was afraid you might see something in me. And I wish to remain invisible. Oh, how sweet that would be. I thought I was the only one who was so afraid to lift their head up high and face those crashing waves. I thought I was the only one who could so easily cry. And is there anybody who's not afraid to die? And now I'm looking up at that sun, and I have learned I'm not the only one. 'Cause I'm like you and you are like me, and I've been trying to grow flowers and making them into trees. I won't give up on miracles. I won't give up on love. I know it lasts forever, comes from you and me and up above. I won't give up on miracles. I see 'em every day. Sometimes they are in packages that are left beside the graves. the stars, and I feel the rain. I know where you are, and I feel this pain. You've been flying with the birds, and no longer need to land. I've been sitting